Guys, oh my god. Oh my god! What's happening? How are we? What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Okay. So we're gonna watch... We're gonna watch the thing. The trailer. Have you guys seen it yet? Is it good? I hear it's good. What do you guys think? Is it mid? Am I gonna be really let down? Now granted, this is the first time I've ever watched a trailer for a video game before. Is it good? You're an emotional wreck? $7.77 out of 20? Agreed, bro. Agreed. We might play some Ever Crisis too. I just remembered it's 1 o'clock. By the way. Did you know that Ever Crisis is a video game? We're gonna do trailer breakdown first though. Cause yeah. No 4K trailer. Not officially, but the state of play was 4K, so we're just gonna watch the state of play. So I mean, if that's okay with you guys. The one Blitz uploaded is good. It's not quite as good as the state of play. But you know, like life is pain, etc. So, thank you for being patient with me while I did things yesterday. I know you guys wanted to be with me, and Sleep Easy wanted to be with me, but, you know, I was busy meeting LeVar Burton, okay, guys? Hey Gene, how are you? Okay, I'll pull up the trailer. I hear it's good. Okay, and then we'll look at the press site and then Twitter. And I immediately I'm gonna be honest with you. I did watch this trailer. I know that that's probably surprising for you guys to find out, but I did. I wasn't trying to be deceptive with you. Where's the state of play? Okay. Pulling it up. Did they pull the State of Play live stream? Key to Eris, you almost collapsed. Well, don't do that. Okay, I found it. Alright. Okay. Okay, guys. Hi. Hi. So, a couple... So, we're just gonna watch it once together as friends and just experience it unpaused. And then I'll go through slice by slice here and we'll talk about it. Then we'll look at the press surrounding it, interviews, fun finds. I'm gonna give you my immediate reaction when I watched this trailer, which I just sat like kind of in silence, like kind of losing my mind for 5 minutes after I watched it. And okay, get to the lady.
Here this month. Before
but
we
like,
wrap up,
if you could
Square
play
Enix
sound,
has one more update for us today.
I'd really appreciate it. Okay. I know you guys can hear the sound, but I can't. And make sure it's in 4K. Well, I'm not streaming at 4K, but good recommendation. I will. For me. Imagine if it wasn't Rebirth and it was KH4. No. No. I'll imagine other things for now. Were you guys excited for that sweet Tales of Arise DLC announcement? It's really taken its time loading.
They're hard at work on Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, the ambitious follow-up to the critically acclaimed Final Fantasy VII Remake. Let's see what's in store for one of next year's most anticipated games.
The world's ending. At least, that's what everyone's saying.
The sky. I don't like it.
Ready to fire, sir.
Welcome to the New World Order. Fire!
Just close your eyes and listen. Tell me you can't hear that. Her rallying cry.
It looks so good.
The planet runs out of energy. It and everything on it dies.
We can overcome our fate.
Am I the same as these monsters? Am I even human?
Okay, we're looking for Sephiroth. Think you can find him?
Oh, Sephiroth. You see.
So you heeded the call too, did you?
What are you talking about?
As you can see, your brothers down there are having a little get-together.
Fucking so
You're our
cool.
best chance of finding Sephiroth.
Yeah, I ask because I suspect there's soldiers.
Thank you for the
suffering
sub,
from
Chrono.
cellular degradation.
Do not be deceived. You know the truth. Trust in me.
Yes. Known bastion of honesty.
Come on!
So great.
On me.
The look.
Look!
Excuse me. Could you look after my friend? Just for a bit.
Man.
A weapon?
Tutelary creatures, said only to appear when the planet is in grave danger.
Who dares disturb my slumber? It's upon us. The reunion. When worlds merge. I'm waiting, Cloud.
Nice. Okay. Okay. First of all, this is the best trailer they've maybe ever put out. So I'll start with the elephant in the room here. It's very clear to me that the party is in the Beagleverse, however you want to say that. There's a little stamp that you can see. Hey, Psychotics 8, and that whatever's happening with Zack is disconnected somehow. It's in the quote unquote other world. What seems to be happening now is it's sort of I'm really happy that it's this way. Instead of it being, like one altered timeline or two timelines, it seems to me like throughout the course of the game, the timelines will be merging into one. And so it's sort of a mixture of the two theories, which is genius to me. And it allows, it eliminates a lot of the problems of both theories that way. You still get this new adventure for Cloud and Co. That follows similar narrative beats, but it makes an explanation for why things might diverge or devolve, and has to do with, as the ripples of these two timelines zipping together, these two worlds zipping together, creates this really fun and interesting way to experience the story. It seems really clear that in the beginning, Zack is not Zack dead. It's either that Zack and this Cloud are the only remnants of, in fact, maybe the Terrierverse, and they've walked into this new place, or they're in this sort of world of limbo. But it's not the world of the dead. I mean, we see Kyrie there, we see Elmira there. This is not figurative. It's something concrete. And there's a lot of other stuff that shows up. So I'm excited about that, the possibilities of that. So that's the elephant in the room. The overall trailer showed so much more than I could have hoped for. It showed locations, it showed scenarios, it showed traversal, it showed costumes, it showed fun. I don't know who needs to hear this, but you are allowed to have squealed with joy when you saw Cloud on a Segway. I love that. I think that's the most Final Fantasy-ass thing you can do. It was super Final Fantasy VII. Really cool. They showed Kate Sith, and Kate Sith was just came on in the most peak fashion. He's playable. The Moogle doll's there. They're not cutting any corners there. They showed Vincent, and he's voiced by Matt Mercer, which is funny. I saw Sleep Easy after you guys did yesterday, and Sleep Easy and I were talking, and he was like, "Hey, that had to be the voice of Sonon, right, for Vincent?" Because he thought that Alex Lee was voicing him. And if you recall, for fans of me, you know that I thought for sure Sonon was being voiced by Matt Mercer, because Matt Mercer actually he voiced a State of Play that that everything was going to be announced at. He sounds a lot like Matt Mercer from the trailers. We found out he was voiced by Alex Lee, but it's because Alex Lee can do a really good Matt Mercer. And and so when this came out, it was like I immediately was like, they can't have found another Matt Mercer sound alike. There's no way. That's got to be Matt Mercer. And then he, I think, confirmed it maybe minutes ago on his Twitter, if I recall. Did he? Gene, did you send me something about that? Yeah, so there does seem to be some people are noticing that there's a Beagle stamp in Junon too. That's what I'm starting to see. Anyways, that's fine. We're past that. I'm happy about what's happening. But they showed off the weapons. They showed off Alexander, Kajada. They showed off they showed off Zolam. Odin seems to be in the Zolam fight, by the way. Let's see if we can go. Oh, I gotta go. Oh yeah, the state of play was so weird. So let's go over it one by one. Okay, so whatever's happened here looks to be devastating. You know, it looks almost worse than Platefall. It looks like this looks like maybe the Whisper Dome explosion, you know, was whatever happened in the Singularity did some shit to this, you know. Like this is gnarly. And so as soon as I saw this, I was like, no, this is too far. You know, like this can't just be, you know.
That's what everyone's saying. Also,
I'm not ready to think about this yet, but you can't see a scar on Zach here. But you can see it later, so it's like I don't know what the fuck's going on. I think it might just be a little bit of dev inconsistency. But this is clearly, you know, we've got leaves, you know, but this is Sector 5, you know. And there's a bunch of missing space here.
I don't like it.
And then there's this hole in the sky.
Ready to fire, sir. Welcome to the New World Order.
I love this. We get Rufus right off the bat. New World Order, you know, leaning into this idea that we're going to have a new adventure. Which is what I also did like. Okay, this is a subtle detail that I picked up on. But when the cannon fires here. Okay. It's in 4K, so scrolling the frames is a little rough. But look at the water right here, just from the blowback of the explosion. That's such a cool effect, and it looks really legit. I also love that the high wind is still there, pointing in the direction of the cannon, you know. Then here, these are a lot of these are reused assets, these little posters and stuff like this here, and as is this right here. I know you can barely see it, and I can't really zoom in, but I think this is probably this little dot would probably be the same as the stamp posters. I'm just noticing this now because I as soon as I saw the sky open, I'm like, that's fine. They're in the Beagleverse, no big deal. Everything else about the whole trailer was so exciting that I kind of, didn't care. I love this right here. because it's clear this is going to be like a. I'm sorry, my cat needs in. Charles. Come on, bud. Charles missed me, so. Okay. So, like, first of all, the other thing too, like, I love that they're, like, this is the first, like, bit of tone setting that I was like, okay, it's still Final Fantasy VII. It's not so serious that you, like, lose the plot. A couple things to know. I like that there's this indicator of, like, what looks like a weapon shop or weapon vendor here. So that's cool. But he's just got his sword. Like, I wonder who this is. You know, he's just got this sword, and the interviews actually explain that this is a whole ass mini game. Like, it's way more complex. It's like they are going way hard on this. Then we got here. We've got this, you know, burnt down reactor, but it's so green. It's so green. So where do you think this is? What's you guys' guess? It feels kind of obvious, but I'll let you guys guess. There? Gongaga? Amazing. Amazing. Yeah, that's right. It's Gongaga. And then here we're on Under Junon. This is the Junon Undercity, and you can see the water down there.
Tell me you can't hear.
And then here we're in Cosmo Canyon, and you know, they packed that in so quickly. That was a few frames of all three of those locations, you know. But you get this, oh my god, you know, it's happening. Like, we're getting to go to these places. Like, this looks so cool. Like, everything, like the way the rocks look, all of that. Like, it's got that exact. It's just perfect. This is perfect, and I love that they could have modernized the look of the letters Cosmo Canyon, but instead it matches the exact, like, you know, like goofy, not goofy, but like kind of thrift store aesthetic that the letters have, you know. And then we've got, you know, the Shattered Coast area here, and this could be a few places. I have I have some thoughts on it. I'm curious, where do you guys think this is? And I may have the actual answer, so I'm just let's just say, look at the levels here, you know. Look at the levels here as an indicator. Don't expect any of those things to be red herrings.
Rally and cry.
Planet runs out of energy.
And then here,
It and everything on it dies.
We can overcome our fate.
and then back here. So we get this indication of the progression of the game again. And it's kind of...
Close your eyes and listen. Tell me you can't hear that.
You also notice that the UI disappears for certain
Runs out of energy.
certain areas, which is really cool.
We can overcome our fate.
Am I the same as these monsters? Am I even human?
Okay, we're looking for Sephiroth. Think you can find him?
Oh, Sephiroth. You see.
So where do we think this is? Like, we're looking at, you can see back here, you can see like this elevator, you can see, so we're obviously thinking this is a gold saucer, but I like that we're getting to see like the wall textures of inside Gold Saucer. We got to see a big portion of the outside.
Did you?
And so this is after right? So this is after, and we see little peaks, jagged peaks here. We see water. We see these little balloons, which are clearly side quest bait for chocobos, you know? So we're in the Nibble area. We can look at the levels and see.
What are you talking about?
Then we have the buggy. Look at that. Buggy. No expenses spared. We see the buggy.
As you can see, your brother's down.
We have multiple colors and types of chocobos. Here it is, the Segway, right? And then there's a distance traveled on Segway thing, meaning that there's some kind of associated value. You know, that's what that means. But then we've also got like these, you know, the NPCs in this game are already so much more varied and interesting. Like, look at this random maid, you know, with a bonnet. Like, in Costa del Sol. And then we've got belly dancers. Then we got, like, Rufus's, like, ninth half-brother here.
They're our best chance of finding...
And we heard Hojo talking just now.
In Sephiroth.
Yeah.
So trying to figure out where we are here. So Doc Sheeran, we've got like, this is interesting. So looking at the background, this, you know, this feels like this hospital feels like almost the Medial Hospital. Like it has the same kind of aesthetic. It's hard to say that though. If you look back here, it looks like there's these mountains that almost have the same aesthetic of like Cosmo Canyon. So this could be a new character in a new hospital area. Pablo Escoboy. That's a solid. I like that username. Thank you, Pablo. Wow, there's 128 of you here. And I haven't been paying attention. So I'm thinking Heelan. It could be Heelan. It could be like... This is a new character. Doc Sheeran is a new character. You know?
I ask because I suspect there's...
And we've got Reunion going pretty hard here. You know, like... and can we see the number? That's a 6 of some kind. But I don't know if there's another... Is it 67? Someone said it could be the doctor that patched Tifa at Mount Corel after the Nibelheim event. It does look like Corel. Yeah. I could be it too. Yeah. Wait, is that Dr. Sheeran? In TOTP, that's his name? Oh, well then there you go. He's in Mount Corel. That's awesome.
Do not be deceived. You know the truth. Trust in me.
Sephiroth! Come on.
So we just saw the Zolam, which is awesome. Like, Zolan wasn't even on my bingo card for the trailer. I was like, they gotta show... They only showed a few frames of him, but like, that's how dense this trailer is. We're going back. We're going back. Okay. Right there, too. See that? Yeah. Some of the pop-in. Look. Don't worry about that, okay? That's so that we get a solid frame rate. But I love this. This is a mixture of both of their attacks that are established, which is cool. Do you think they're going to call it Zolam? That's a good point. Yeah. Compression, yeah. Remember too, I've been traveling, so I am catching up on stuff. I didn't even know that he was named Doc Sheeran in the subtitles. So that's cool. Okay, let's just scroll back here. So this is Bottom Swell. This isn't the Zolam, but the Zolam is over here.
Truth. Trust in me.
Okay, so also we see that Sephiroth is appearing to Cloud again in Mount Corel, you know. And of course Cloud doesn't know what else to do but just like attack strangers when he sees Cloud. Or when he sees Sephiroth. But here's the Zolam. Look at the sky, and it's all marshy. Here's Bottom Swell.
Come on.
Bottom Swell. Bottom Swell. Yeah. Oh, Old Man Sakaki, I see you're in chat. Welcome. Welcome in. Okay. Right here we have peak video games. So this is one of the greatest moments in the history of time. Is that we just see... So, see, too, that in this frame, there's these balloons that you can catch. Here, right before he starts vomiting. See the little balloony guys? So, I imagine that has to do with Chocobo Flight. You know, but look how much water and ocean there is. And we're in the Nebel area. It's wild how much water there is near Nebel. Moogle also eats the magic orb. Okay.
On me.
Alright, here we have both pauldrons. Right? So what's happening here is that this is the Nibelheim flashback. Right? This is from Cloud's warped perspective, and I think this is what he's saying. I don't think this is some new scenario. I know Materia Keeper's there, but I think this is the Nibelheim flashback from Calm. Here's Materia Keeper. And then here they have this, which is, I mean... guys. Look. Guys. 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 Old Man Sakaki, are you still here? If so, tell me your thoughts on this right here. I think he left. That's fine. Or he's embarrassed. Okay. Yeah, the Defoe version's really good. They're integrating. This is the double helix, yeah. Okay, so little bits too. Notice that as he's getting hit, the Materia Keeper is actually like his fins glow, and it happens fast, so you can't appreciate how cool this model looks. But this model is like, it's such a good monster design. Like, look at the little details on his claws. I mean, these like, they're like ganglia, you know, these little arm ganglia. Then we've got, you know, Alexander, which bold move, showing off Alexander. And also Alexander looks cool as shit here. Then we've got very likely, you know, this is very likely or definitely Kajata, because look at the 3 sets of eyes. But he looks like, instead of like looking bad, he looks good. You know what I mean? Like, remember how he used to look bad? Well, if you'll look at Exhibit B, which is Rebirth, he looks good. Do not mind the fact that this building has walls that disappear into the sky. That doesn't matter. Okay? Because we can barely tell. It's just resource allocation. Then we've got Odin. And I'm gonna be really disappointing to Audrey here. But this Odin clears 16. Best Odin. Best Odin. So, by the way, why I think it's fascinating that Cloud has 2 pauldrons is in the teaser trailer that happened a year plus ago. He did not. Cloud had a single pauldron when he was walking with Sephiroth towards the Nebel Mountains. Could be a design thing. You know, that was early footage. In fact, I would say that's the most likely thing. But it is noteworthy that they made a change of that. What's also interesting, too, is like Cloud is remembering in the in Remake, he remembers his flashback of him laying on the bed in his mom's home, and she's talking to him about an older girl or whatever. And he's got 2 pauldrons in that scene too. So it's interesting. There's not enough context to really, you know, focus.
Look!
Yeah. Okay, so this is the golden saucer. And I never imagined that we would get the golden saucer like this. In a trailer that's already shown off Cosmo Canyon and many other... and Kajata, you know? Okay, so also this appears to be the same locale as the Zolam fight to me. Although now I'm not so sure. Looking at this frame, this actually could be that weird Nebel area. Oh, you know what? I think this is the Nebel area. Oh, but that does look like the Zolam. Kind of. Oh, yeah, it is the Zolam. Yeah, so no. Okay, I'm right. The thing is, that's so cool about Odin fighting the Midgarstormer is it's just like really, really cool, like mythological framing. Like, sure, Odin didn't ever actually fight. Like, the Midgarstormer was Thor's enemy, not Odin's. But look, whatever. Okay, just relax. Anyways, trolley. The little alien graffiti. The graffiti on the trolley is awesome. Stars. And then look, Chocobo Square. Like, they didn't change the aesthetic of this at all. At all. Like, they just made it look really good and modern, but kept the core aesthetic. Okay, what do you guys think about this shit? Where is this? Is this the gold saucer? It's framed that way. Phantom. Correct. It's framed that way. However, this could also be... This could be Terry or Andrea. And Zack sees him. And then there's Zack doing a dancing minigame. And then we see. But I think it's probably that he shows up in the gold saucer. But, okay, here we've got this. First of all, cool Yuffie costume, right? Are we going to talk about what's going on here? What do we think is going on here? I mean, Andrea doesn't look like the kind to wear an outfit twice in his lifetime. But we see Tifa in traditional garb. We see Aerith in her Aerith suit. And then we see several NPCs. But she's in like a new attire. Alright, guys. Look who it is. Is Dio. See ya, Dev. Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. Okay, here we're getting the good parts, right? Okay, we're getting look. Okay, you can see the vein on his arm right there. All right, you're still seeing plenty of the chest hair. You're seeing whatever's happening here. You're seeing the twirly mustache for sure. We're seeing that it's probably going to be a competition between Andrea and Dio to be more theatrical. And I'm sorry, Andrea. Dio gonna win. Okay. Chocobo racing looks like a full-fledged thing. Okay. It does look like it's... It looks like... So we've got all the controls too, right? First of all, I love that there's all this customization potentially with these chocobos. Like the chocobos have outfits. There's a dash. There's a speed burst. There's speed and slow, but there's also drift. You can change, you have clearly more agency. But it looks like we have this great opportunity for this to be like very theme park aesthetic, right? These are all like D-make graphics. There we have, Vivi, which is cool, that we're referencing other Final Fantasies. And then we've got another little mage there, black mage there. This looks cool. I hope it works better. I like that we get a clear indication right off the bat that this is part of the Gold Saucer game, because you can see the, you can see like these little power-ups you can get. Wouldn't it be wild if this was like multiplayer?
Excuse me.
Okay. So here's like Zach just like
Could you look after my friend just for a bit?
Straight up interacting. Okay, who's this guy? All right. I mean, he's dressed like Glenn at the beginning of Ever Crisis, and that does seem to be like, okay, his face doesn't quite match Glenn's for me from what we can see of it, but we can't see enough of it. Here's why I hope it's Glenn, and I know it's like, what could Glenn do to the story? He could not be a Xehanort for me, and that's a big thing. It's like, can we just not do the black cloak guy can be anybody, where it's just like, oh, which one of these? Yeah, like doing that as a thing. And I think we're just over cloaked figures as a as a weird red herring mechanic at this point, especially after. I mean, like, ironically, I don't even think that it was Kingdom Hearts that put the nail in the coffin. I think it set it there and then pounded it halfway. And then the final swing of the hammer was Final Fantasy 16 with the Joshua Ultima nonsense. So I think that's played. So I'm hoping they're not playing that card again. I'm hoping they're not rhyming this. Why would Glenn have interest in the president of Shinra? Not looking too good for Glenn's allegiance to Shinra. Spoiler alert for Ever Crisis. Okay. What the fuck is happening here? Where is Tifa? Like, okay.
Tutelary
Look.
creatures, said only to appear when the planet isn't.
I mean, that looks like there's a layer of glass between them. But I don't think the dialogue is connected either. I don't think Red 13 is saying this at this moment. Okay, but this is I mean, my first thought when I saw it, I didn't even think about it. I was like, "Oh, she's in the Junon underwater reactor." Right? Because I saw the glass. But then I'm really looking at her floating here, and it looks like she's in the live stream. Like, look, there's live stream floating around her. And it doesn't look like Sapphire Weapon either. Live stream simulator. Live stream Genova illusion. Genova fuckery. Obviously. And it doesn't look like Sapphire Weapon. It also doesn't look like anything before. And she says, a weapon?
A weapon?
Tutelary creatures, said only to appear when the planet is in grave danger.
Okay. Here we got Vincenzo. And let's see. I'm not sure if you guys noticed. They did everything they could to not show Bro's face.
Danger.
Okay, look at this. Cerberus. So cool, right? Phantom noticed this? Astonishing. I can't believe that Phantom Valentine would know this. It's very cool. This also has boss fight vibes, you know? But, which I'd be down for, but because he's coming out of the gate pretty hot. But it is kind of the same way, you know? Okay. Next frame. Well, there's 140 of you in here? Guys, thank you for being here. There must have been a new trailer announced or something. Has Matt been confirmed as Vincent? Gene, did Matt get confirmed? Are you here? I feel like he did. Like, it's just like it was like, oh, it's Matt Mercer, but, and I'm just totally assuming that he is. Oh yeah, all but confirmed. Is Dual Shockers? Lame Boy Advance, did you miss the heel turn? Pretty much. So I'm now in the I'm now firmly in the it's like a mixture of the two theories. Like it's what's happening is that as we start the game, it's the world starting to merge, and so we're gonna see I would say within the first 10 hours the game will be firmly in one continuity. But what it'll do is it'll actually, it's better that it just didn't happen and then we're just trying to figure out how it happened. It's going to show it happening. Like, it's going to be explicit about how the worlds collide.
Dares disturb my slumber.
I'll tell you who dares. Somebody that recognizes there's a pit trap door in the center of the door outside his crypt. Somebody that recognizes that there's a fully power locked treasure right here. Somebody that recognizes that Kit Shi is down here, just that Ket Shi like is gonna wander around without his Moogle doll, but he's going to summon it as if like from a magic bag in his like asshole, and he's just gonna shit out the Moogle doll every time he needs to. Okay. What about the doppelganger? Will there be 2 Renos, for example? I kind of think so for a while. I think when as the planets, as the things merge, it'll eliminate copies through some mechanic. John Ron, there's only 2 of the party members because of the singularity. No one else? Only Cloud is 2? Yeah, so... Yeah. Did you guys catch the part where we're in the Beagleverse? Did I mention that? Like, I'm not saying that Zach isn't there right now. Whatever has the fucked up sky is separate from our world, or the world, this world. That, it was first frame, I was aware of that. And so, I was glad they got that out of the way so that I could enjoy the trailer.
It's a...
Okay, so what's this here? This is, I'm just telling you right now, this is the recap. You don't think this is the Shinra Mansion? Yeah, this is the recap that people are going to, get to play. Like, this will probably start regardless of whether you want it to or not. This is a Visual Works version of the end of Remake.
I'm waiting, Cloud.
Do you hear the part where it's like, oh, the worlds emerge? Alright. Leap Day is one hell of a release date. It is so meta. One, it's a Thursday. Thank goodness. Games generally release on Thursdays, by the way. The purpose of Leap Day is a time adjustment. It's like a correction. It's amazing. I cannot think of a better time. They gave me time for P3 Reloaded. Yeah, you can play P3. What happens to Mako, Poison, Cloud? I don't know. I have a feeling that okay. Here's like kind of a crack annoyance. I think that when the worlds merge, all of the characters will take on attributes of both continuities. So Zack will be the only one that is only one world. And I think that when Mako Poison Cloud, quote unquote, merges with Beagle Cloud, it will... So, like, every character just fusion dances with their counterpart. I think it'll be like a probably better executed than that. Like, you'll just understand the worlds will... It'll be like a visual thing. It'll be metaphorical. And when space, when space-time collides and stuff, weakened Mako poisoned cloud merges with the cloud that's been cooking in the Beagle verse, it will weaken him dramatically and make him even more susceptible. It'll be sort of the straw that breaks the camel's back for Cloud. It's a merging. Yeah. True merging of worlds. You don't think Zack is being shown weeks before FF7 starts? Well, I mean, maybe, but why does the sky look like that? Slime memo. Like, why is the Midgar destroyed? Is this running UE5? I don't think so. I think it's UE4, but using UE5 tools. Like, there is a Joshy Poo. If he's in the chat, he can kind of confirm this. But like, it's not that black and white. You can be using a mostly UE4 architecture, but still technically be using UE5. And so how you market the game is really, it's vague. Yeah. It's because Zack is clearly dead, Baby Seal. Yeah. Zack's clearly dead. Clearly. Dead Zack, yeah. Twin Pack pre-order start. The other thing they did, they announced sales. So, okay. I've had a chance to read everything that people have had. So let's read the... I do want to read like the media kit stuff. And look at the Twitter. I saw that they tweeted some shit. And how's this one doing, by the way? Okay. Where was the... I think they're out here posting character profiles. Okay, so they did the Zack one. Zack may have worked with Sephiroth as a soldier first class, but he trained under a different operator. And it is from this man that he both learned to take pride in his work and received his iconic Buster Sword. Then after a grueling battle in which he overcomes the odds and cheats death, Zack returns to Midgar, where he hopes to see his love Aerith with a Mako poison cloud in tow. It's like, they're just out here swinging, Dude's alive. Also, he loves Aerith. Light mode. You're getting on me for light mode. Shadows 1811. It is so on brand for Shadows 1811 to be out here being like, no. Give me dark mode. Like, you choose Shadows as your name. That's cool. I like that. I like the consistency here. Light mode is like a solar flare. I think you guys are going to be okay. I don't know how to tell you this. Biggest brain thing you've missed? I think that the timelines will be zipping together throughout the course of the game. It'll be starting pretty soon in the game, and that Peter, I know, I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you about that. I have no leverage over Australian marketing concerns, but I think that if there's a will, there's a way, and you'll probably figure something out if you do like the eBay thing. Anyways, so I think that the timelines are like zipping together, and then I think that when they merge, it's not just going to be like, oh, there's two of everybody. I think the characters themselves will merge, and everybody will feel altered, and that there will be levels of perceptibility. Australian Clark has entered the building. Hi, Susie. Welcome in. Susie, what are your thoughts? Are you excited about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth? Or are you upset that it came at the same time as Separate Ways DLC announcement? Which looks great, by the way. You think it looks great so far? That's good. That's good. That's good. It's like it feels like it's a combination of both worlds. Rhonda is trending. Why? Okay. Then we got Kate Ketchi, a wisecracking feline-shaped robot often seen poised atop his big Moogle pal. One of the Gold Saucer's most popular mascots, he is well loved for his fortune-telling, a service that he offers Cloud and friends. His adorable appearance also belies access to a surprising amount of insider intel on Shinra. A member of Wutai's elite corps of ninja operatives. Elite Corps. Corpses. Corpse ninja operatives. Yuffie infiltrates Midgar on a mission to steal the ultimate materia from Shinra. Her plan ends in disaster as she fails to claim the materia and loses her partner Sonon in the struggle. Just as working alone begins to take its toll on her, however, Cloud's group comes into the picture. Red 13 is a beast with a flaming tail, crimson fur, deadly claws, and the ability to speak. Cloud and company help him escape Professor Hojo's clutches, and he decides to join them on their journey. His species is known for the long lifespans, and he is no exception. As this Cosmo Canyon native is the eldest member of the party, he offers its members words of wisdom from time to time. And then Aerith, descendant of Cetra, communing with the planet. Shinra takes her prisoner in their efforts to reach Cetra's foretold promised land, but Cloud and company come to her rescue. She escapes Midgar and embarks on a journey into the outside world of which she has long dreamed. Okay, there's not a ton in there that... Okay, let's read these. Okay. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth has been set for Feb 29, 2024. The second installment of 7 Remake Project will feature elements from the previous game, as well as greatly enhanced features such as the vast world map to explore and synergy abilities with party members. The story will unfold more dramatically than ever before, with a rapid pace of major twists and turns. So, much like this trailer, which really, really belted out the scale of the game in quick order, I think this is going to do that, but the story will unfold dramatically, like more dramatically than ever before. And something that I've always said about how I think, some of the changes that they've made so far, and I think the changes that they're leaning into are really going for is that they're increasing all of the stakes, right? So Cloud's soul being corrupted, Cloud being kind of turned into something that Sephiroth wants for him at a much more dramatic level is a echo of the original internal struggle, but it's done more dramatically, right? And the rapid pace of major twists and turns, and we know fans are dying to see one scene in particular. And I mean, it's pretty clear what that is. You know, that is the death of Aerith. So that means the water altar. And I think that's where the game ends. The water altar. Which is interesting because we're seeing this, the meteor getting more red. So, that it's possible they kind of change the order of the summoning of meteors so that does happen this game. I think that's likely. Because meteor being summoned seems like really important stake building for the end of the game. Even though some things are going to be pushed forward, like the world of ruin needs to start, even if he doesn't die from it, I low-key want the game to end on a shot of Cloud or Zack getting stabbed instead of Aerith before cutting to black. I don't hate that. Maybe both of them together. Masamune is like 20 feet, so I mean, he could get all the parties in one. Yeah. What did you guys think of that cover, by the way? Like, not even messing around. Hey, this is what the game's about. These three characters. Yeah, get the whole LTD in there. Yeah. Okay. So, can be enjoyed on his own as a standalone adventure, with the party leaving Midgard to explore the world wide beyond. But for those wishing to deepen their understanding of the story, a recap of the previous game will also be provided, which we saw parts of. So we hope that both fans and those who have never played Final Fantasy before will enjoy this game. Hamaguchi says, we are finally able to announce the release date to all of you. We have been working tirelessly on Final Fantasy VII Rebirth since release. And we can't wait for you to experience our labor of love. In this title, Cloud and his friends, who have fled Midgar, will be setting out on an adventure across an expansive world of untold adventure. Untold adventure in pursuit of Sephiroth. This is a developer comment, right? So there's always room to look at developer comments and proof text your canon. Professor Noctis knows all about that. That's just how you justify everything is you just say everything. And then you can proof text. While the main storyline is bigger and more ambitious than previous games' narrative, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth also embraces the concept of free exploration, with compelling stories, fun minigames, powerful monsters, and so much more to find throughout the world map. We hope you explore this world in great details, as nearly 100 hours of adventure awaits. How many people were really excited by that? And the answer better be all of you. You're like, no, I needed 200 hours. Also, I hate happiness. Etc. What do you guys think about that? Too cool? Hold on a sec. I've got to send somebody something. Okay. Almost ready to talk to you guys again. Okay. All right. Why are a bunch of people following me? That always scares me. When I get like mass follows, like what did I do wrong? Okay. Listen, guys. Do you think endgame content just NG plus hard mode? Hey, by the way, I got a lot of chat right now, and if I missed you, I love you. I'm sorry. So, if you want a question addressed specifically by me, go ahead and at Schrodingersbabyseal so that it highlights in the chat for me. Oakley dokley, guys. Anyways, 100 hours. We hope to you will take this new Final Fantasy game experience in your own hands to enjoy. Okay, and now let's look at the man himself, Tetsuya Nomura. This is the second title of a trilogy and covers between the start of the journey outside Midgar to the midpoint of the original Final Fantasy VII. If Final Fantasy VII Remake was an introduction to the world and a preparation for this journey, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth serves as an illustration of the incidents that started the journey, an exploration of the people tied to it, and the journey itself, heading towards its climax. Many elements were carefully selected for this title, and because this is a series, we have the unique opportunity to review and incorporate feedback from the previous title, such as by increasing the number of characters. I'm sure that the bar for the next work will be raised even higher now that we have included so many spectacular elements in this work. But even so, the entire team continues to work diligently and without compromise on its development. There's also the looming question of what fate awaits. Whether you have experienced the original title or will embark on this adventure with fresh eyes, we hope you will face the ending of this work on your own terms. Does the merging of the timelines theoretically confirm to Genova's? That's what you added me for, Delta Sin? How? Of course, yeah. Okay, so does anyone think that Aerith was the first one to come back for a remake before Sephiroth? I don't know. I don't think she's a time traveler. Okay. Yeah, this quote has heavy BDE energy. Like, hey, FYI, you soulless groupthink idiots. How about you look inside, decide for yourself what you like, look at this as its own creative work and judge it on that merit, not on arbitrary groupthink nostalgia bullshit. That's specifically what Nomura said. I paraphrased it a little bit though. It's pretty much what he said exactly. Okay. So the whispers were the old pants. Hey, you're free to interpret this however you want. Okay. These renders look great too, if I may say. We still don't have the renders for the next trailer. And we'll talk about that too. But we also have the full renders. Can we talk about that? Why are there two renders? Why are there two renders for Barrett? Barrett glasses. Barrett no glasses. Two timelines, yeah. He's still got a tattoo in both, though. Can you imagine? Veggie, veggie, veggie straws. I mean, it just looks good, okay? There ain't no love in the heart of the city. Then we've got these stills that are they're 1080 because they know what the fans want. They know what we want. We want that 1080. Give us that sweet, sweet 1080. What I would prefer they do next time is just like, just instead of like press photos, that are in 1080p, I just want them to like take pictures of screens with the photos on them. I just think that's better, you know? Okay. Going back, because their site has always been like this. It's always been like this. Okay. Square Enix announces Rebirth will launch February 29th. Today, during PlayStation State of Play broadcast with Square Enix, debuted a brand new trailer for its upcoming action RPG, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and revealed that the highly anticipated new story in the critically acclaimed Final Fantasy VII Remake project will debut on February 29th, 2024 for the PlayStation 5 console. The company also announced that the first entry in the FF7 Remake project, Final Fantasy VII Remake, has surpassed 7 million shipments in digital sales. Young Chicken, thank you for the follow. Sia Dev, thank you for the follow. That's cool, right? We got an updated sales figure. The action-packed trailer features iconic characters Cloud, Aerith, Barrett, and Tifa in a sci-fi and fantasy-inspired world teeming with danger at every turn. The unlikely heroes join forces with new playable companions, including Yuffie, a member of Wutai's elite corpses of ninjas, Red 13, a wisecracking feline-shaped beast with a flaming tail who offers words of wisdom to Cloud's party from time to time, and Kate Sith, thank you Tatsumo50, and Kate Sith, a wisecracking feline-shaped robot, often sees poised atop a big Moogle Pow to hunt down Sephiroth, the one-winged angel bent on ruling the planet. Players will take these characters into battle using a powerful synergy abilities to strengthen bonds further while tackling dangerous fiends. As players' journeys across a vast, vibrant world ripe with exploration to discover classic locales, reimagined dazzling detail, you'll also encounter dozens of hours of rewarding side content and mini games. So more than 1 dozen of the hours in this 100 plus hour experience are side content and mini games. In addition to rich side stories about the planet's incredible people and cultures. Alongside the release date, Square Enix unveiled the key art for the game, created by creative director Tetsuya Nomura. The new artwork represents the 3 worlds that form the axis of the story in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Sephiroth is in the center as he represents the instigator of the events of the past. Cloud and Zack are on the side as they represent their destinies being torn apart by Sephiroth. They represent their destinies being torn apart by Sephiroth. Zack's destiny, which, I mean, like, kind of not the best destiny, you know, in the gacha pull spectrum of destinies, was torn apart by Sephiroth. Sephiroth is alive, or Zack is alive because Sephiroth tore his destiny apart. Okay. The image of blood, fire, and red that evokes Sephiroth stains the sky and spreads over the world. The subtle red shade in the logo of this work is also inspired by the same imagery. FF7 Rebirth has been set for release 2/29/24. The second installment of the Final Fantasy VII Remake project will feature elements from the previous games as well as greatly enhanced features such as the vast world map to explore and synergy abilities with ability. Story will unfold more dramatically than ever before. Okay, so these are the 3 quotes. All right. Square Enix also shared details about the unique physical and digital editions of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Players wishing to brush up on the story can pre-order the Twin Pack, which includes Remake Intergrade, the graphically enhanced and expanded version of Remake. Players can pre-order the following editions. Physical, across 2 discs, includes a reversible cover, and the pre-order incentive of the digital Midgar Bangle Mark II armor at participating retailers. The deluxe edition includes a mini soundtrack, CD, art book, and steelbook case. The collector's edition includes large, highly detailed statue of Sephiroth, deluxe edition contents, along with digital DLC items, including summoning materia DLC, allowing players to summon the Moogle Trio and the Magic Pot, along with equipment like the Reclamant Choker accessory, and the Orchid Bracelet armor. The collector's edition will be available for pre-order in limited quantities from the Square Enix store. Digital includes the Moogle Trio summoning DLC if you pre-order. The digital deluxe edition includes the mini soundtrack, art book, digital DLC items including Magic Pot, Reclamant Choker, Orchid Bracelet armor. The upgrade can be purchased for $20 if you don't buy it at the thing. The Twin Pack offers great value at $100 during the pre-order phase. So, and then the Rebirth digital Deluxe Twin Pack for $120. Harnessing the power of the PS5 console. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth uses cutting-edge graphics and cinematic wonder to push to new heights to deliver an unforgettable experience created by the development team at Squeenix. FF7 Rebirth will be available for the PS5 console on 2/29/24. For more information, visit ff7squareenix.com, squareenixgames.com/games/rebirth. Okay. Let's do that now. Hey, it's the Rebirth site. Okay, we saw these. Okay. We got logos. If you need the logos. We got the first look trailer here. I haven't uploaded stuff. And then we've got the PDF file. Which, yeah. So, if you look at this media kit, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is the highly anticipated new story of Final Fantasy VII Remake Project, a reimagining of a iconic original game into 3 standalone titles by its original creators. In this game, players will enjoy various new elements as the story unfolds, culminating in the party's journey to the Forgotten Capital. After escaping from the dystopian city of Midgar, Cloud and his friends set out on a journey across the planet. New adventures await in a vibrant and vast world. Sprint across grassy plains on a chocobo and explore expansive environments, an expansive world. As the party searches for Sephiroth, you will explore the beautiful, expansive regions of the world and open up new areas to discover. Dig deeper into the world of FF7 with rewarding side content and minigame, plus various unique forms of transportation. So, I don't think various means both the buggy and chocobos. I think it's more, evolved combat system beyond the walls of fate. In this standalone adventure for fans and newcomers, Cloud and his comrades venture across the planet, their fates unwritten, making each step outside the dystopian city of Midgar feel fresh and mysterious. Their fates unwritten. Okay. We've kind of gone through a lot of this, but let's see. Okay, so we have voice actors. Paul Tinto. So it doesn't tell us who that Matt Mercer is voicing Vincenzo, but he is. All right. Okay, world. Types of chocobo. Okay, we got chocobo. That's the chocobo variety of chocobos. Look at Sephiroth's quote. Don't be afraid. It's not death. It's a homecoming. Damn. You can hear the mouse scrolling. I'm scrolling so hard, guys. Odin. By the way, look, Odin. Alexander. They don't even show the other one. Look at the render for Odin. It looks so good. Oh, man. Look at all them leggies. It's just little leggies. All day. The one red eye. So cool. So cool. Okay, we got our chocobo variety of chocobo. We got our mountain chocobos variety of chocobo. So you need mountain chocobos to run up this thing. These special markings. Okay. Alright. Alright. Okay, sky chocobos. We got our sky chocobos. These chocobos can take flight from gliding ranges and soar across peaks and valleys. Take to the skies and nothing will stand in your way. New forms of transportation. 1. Buggy. The buggy, which can be ridden across sandy terrain, can also drive through shallow water and travel faster than chocobos. Buckle up. Take the party on a wild ride through the vast desert. Oh yeah. Okay, then wheelie. We got ourselves a wheelie. It's just called a wheelie. Because I don't think Segway TM would allow them to just call them Segways. But you know what's going to happen? We're going to call them Segways. Segbay. Yeah. I think most people, I think that's maybe the most, you know, the most annoying thing about the existence of the Segway, the vehicle, is that it completely untaught people how to spell the word Segway. Thank you for the follow, Sunny says. I love you. Eyes on B, I just saw you comment. Thank you. World minigames. 1. G-Bike. 2. Chocobo Races. 3. 3D Brawler. Boom. Okay, so looking at 3D Brawler. What's good about this is it looks like it is a game now and not unwinnable tic-tac-toe. Not unwinnable tic-tac-toe. Rock, paper, scissors. Now there's also the limit break, which is going to be your ace in the hole. Okay? All right, guys? Then we got ourselves some screenshots. Product overview. ESRB. Not yet rated. This surprised me a lot to see this here. Better be M? Yeah, I wouldn't hold your breath. Delta Reno. And then let's see. What else should I show here? Let's look at Turquoise's post. Men will literally slumber in a coffin for 30 years instead of go to therapy. All right. Thank you, Turquoise. All right. This is just what we read, basically. Anything else I should be looking at that I missed? Oh, the blog. PlayStation blog. Because there's an interview. Today, the State of Play included a brand new look at Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. The trailer surely will delight both long-term FF7 fans as well as players eager to know what happens after the conclusion of Final Fantasy VII Remake, as Cloud and company embark on a journey that takes them to the world outside of Midgar. In the trailer, we caught glimpses of new party members, sprawling open areas to explore, and the reimagining of some iconic moments from the original game. Rather than leave you speculating, key staff on the game joined us to share not only more insight into the trailer, but also additional gameplay details about the game. The roundtable includes Final Fantasy VII Rebirth producer Yoshinari Kitase, Nomura, Hamaguchi, and Kawamura. Okay, so can you explain what we're seeing of the combat system here? Has it remained untouched since Final Fantasy VII Remake, or have you altered anything for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth? I want to highlight the new synergy moves most from the battle system. The new mechanic allows the player to use synergy commands and abilities freely at any time by using up a gauge charge in a similar manner to limit breaks. So through the battles, players will feel the relationships and bonds that have developed between the characters even more so than in the previous game. We've also added skill trees as a new element of character growth. You can unlock synergy abilities through the skill trees too. Many new material with new abilities not seen in the first game are available as well. So players will have even more options to customize and build character loadouts to their taste. Cool. Skill trees. New element of character growth. You know? So that's awesome. So it makes abilities maybe there's branching paths, you know. Viewers got a glimpse of Red 13 in combat as part of the new trailer. Players are now able to control him directly. What can they expect in terms of his abilities that make him distinct and a great party member in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth trailer? I want to know more about Cait Sith, but okay. The developmental team challenged themselves to give Red 13 a new playstyle that felt different than the other characters. Red 13 doesn't just have an ATB gauge, but he uses his own unique revenge gauge mechanic. His revenge gauge charges when he guards an enemy attacks, and he can spend that charge to use various abilities once his gauge is filled. We've designed Red 13 as a new type of character that requires the player to strike a balance between offensive strategy using the ATB gauge and defensive strategy using the revenge gauge. We have Red 13 and Cait Sith shown as playable characters, and the footage released also shows another character who looks like Vincent. Yeah, he looks just like Vincent. So he will be playable as well. Will the party expand further too? The original party members are all present in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. The previous title remake, Red 13 became an accompanying member in the second half of the game. And it was technically within the second half of the game, but you could also argue that it was in the last 3/4 of the game, which is within the last half technically. But he will become an official playable party member starting from FF7 Rebirth. Similarly, there are characters who are accompanying members in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth that will become official party members in the next title. So that means Sid and Vincent, because those are the only characters left. Or are they? And viewers caught a glimpse of Alexander and Odin. Can we expect more returning summons from FF7 for Rebirth? And will any summons from Remake return? There will be many other summons in the game. In addition to those that have already been revealed in our previous videos, some are returning from Remake. In fact, the lineup of summons has actually been fleshed out over and above the previous games with new extended side content based on a summon who did not feature in the original Final Fantasy VII, and even more besides. So there's a side quest surrounding a new summon Yes. Bahamut Omega. Bahamut Theta. Leviathan the Lost. Ifrit, but Clive's Ifrit. Just Clive is okay. Sneaking into the original June and saw players partake in another unique minigame. We saw the parade and many other minigames in the newly revealed trailer. So will the same minigame from the original FF7 still be playable? Yes, the same minigame will be playable, but we've greatly increased its scope compared to what it was in the original FF7. The original, Cloud sneaks into one of the units participating in the parade and joins in on the performance, but in Rebirth, he becomes the leader of that unit and can customize the composition of the soldiers participating in the parade. The chosen unit composition will alter their performance, and it goes without saying that this will also affect how the minigame is played. The parade to celebrate the inauguration of Rufus as the new president of Shinra is the climax of the first half of the original game, so the development team was really enthused about making all the details for it. It's one of the moments I hope players enjoy the most. And speaking of minigames, we got a fun glimpse at Gold Saucer and its own minigames. How do the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth versions of these differ from the originals? I think there are a lot of fans who point to the number and variety of minigames as one of the draws of the original FF7. But for Rebirth, we have gone all out and created a huge number of minigames on a scale that surpasses even the original. Many of these minigames can be experienced in the main story, but we also have lots of unique games and challenges that appear as part of the side stories you can find as you explore the world map. There might well be players who get so caught up in all the fun of minigames that they find they aren't making progress in the main story. How do you guys feel about that? I feel good. I feel good. So Gold Saucer is another iconic locale that players will be eager to visit. How have you approached redesigning this amusement park? Hamaguchi, players will first visit the Gold Saucer in the middle section of the game, but are then free to come back to it at any time they like. In order to create that motivation to make them want to come back, we designed the park to provide a changing and ever more wonderful experience with each visit. So new mini games are added, harder difficulty modes are unlocked as the main story progresses, giving you even more to do there. It's not just the mini games either, and the parts of the Gold Saucer seen in the main story have also been fully remade and upgraded too, so you can expect great things from it. The trailer also shows moments of the story exploring lush exterior open areas. How do those larger areas work within the context of gameplay and story? Once the team leaves Midgar, Cloud and the team's major objective, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, is to follow and track Sephiroth across the expansive world they find themselves in. We've put a lot of emphasis on exploration-focused game design with this title, as well as we wanted to create that feeling of going on a journey while traveling around the world in pursuit of evidence of Sephiroth's movements. Now you're several years into remaking iconic locations in Final Fantasy VII with Remake being so successful. Do you feel less pressure to match fan expectations when reimagining beloved areas and moments? Who asked this question? The pressure's way higher now. As Final Fantasy VII Rebirth will take players to various locations across the whole world, we need to recreate the massive Final Fantasy VII world map that would also incorporate places such as towns and dungeons within itself. To do this, we dug deeply into the feeling of each different region and reflected that in the graphics, creating areas that look and feel quite diverse. On top of that, we designed chocobos unique to each region that have their own abilities, such as mountain chocobos that can climb, sky chocobos that can fly, etc. So players will need to utilize their chocobos to fully explore each area. I hope players have a lot of fun with that aspect of the exploration. Remake offered new interpretations of classic locations and moments, as well as entirely new ones that enriched the game. Are there similar balance with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth? As with the previous game, we have strived to find the right balance between old and new scenes in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, but we've also tried to take on more new challenges than we did in Remake with some of the new scenes. I'm confident that these new scenes will be wildly enjoyable for fans and newcomers alike. Okay, Katase. What is the function of the world map in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth? Gucci. The world map is vast and expansive, so not all of the locations on it will be used in the main story alone. In fact, volume-wise, the amount of side content in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is nearly double that of the main quest content. Players who want to enjoy Final Fantasy VII setting on an even deeper level can explore all the corners of the world, discovering many different and exciting experiences such as new stories, battles, mini games to play. It will also be possible to return to any of the regions in the world even after the main quest moves on from that area, so you don't have to worry about leaving things behind or unfinished. Given this is a direct continuation of Final Fantasy VII Remake, can players port over their save file and their character builds to continue their journey into Final Fantasy VII Rebirth? We have announced that the Final Fantasy VII Remake project will be a trilogy and that each entry will be a standalone game in its own right. Because of this, each game's balancing is done independently and player levels and abilities will not carry over. However, we have created some special bonuses for fans who played the previous game, allowing them to start with a little something extra. We just start with five full-blown, fully leveled Ultima weapons, or it's probably going to be something so Levi and Ramu, the Ultima weapon. It'll be a dumb apple. Start with 5 Goder Damarungs. Nail bat with a gun attached. These are all great. Can you tell us about the soundtrack and music of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth? The world Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is much larger than Final Fantasy VII Remake. Because of this, the team has created a variety of new music to go alongside that. We've also expanded the variety of musical genres this time around, so I think there will be plenty to enjoy. Of course, we also have many rearrangements of classic tracks from the original Final Fantasy VII too, so I hope fans will enjoy comparing both iterations of the same song to see what has changed. For example, the music in the newly released trailer is a rearrangement of Final Fantasy VII main theme as a battle music track and gives you a taste of the direction the team has decided to take in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. What's the concept behind the new trailer? Every trailer has a specific purpose. This is the second installment in Final Fantasy VII Remake project. These are people who've played the previous game or enthusiastic fans who followed the built-in mysteries. But for newcomers or those who are simply interested in Final Fantasy VII series, we wanted to include a full overview of what kind of experience they will have with this remake project. So there's less of a mysterious pretense to the story this time, but you can look forward to the next trailer. So there we go. This trailer, very different than what the next trailer will be in. There was a scene with Cloud and Sephiroth fighting together, but will the player get to control Sephiroth in the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth? If you played the original FF7, I'm sure you can guess which scene I'm talking about. You will be able to control Sephiroth in the same scene in this title as you did in the original. So there you go. Final Fantasy VII Remake showed the story up until Gold Saucer appears in the newly released trailer, but will players be able to enjoy the much anticipated date scene And Ferris Wheel 2? Nice. Naturally, this is one of the major highlights of the Gold Saucer, so it's included in the game. Please look forward to how it will appear in Rebirth with its high-resolution visuals. Date seen in. Okay. Final Fantasy VII Remake showed the story up until the escape from Midgar, but what point does Final Fantasy VII Rebirth take us up to? We have mentioned this a few times before, but the order in which you can explore the locations is not the same as the original Final Fantasy VII, and there are some shifts in the order. For example, Wutai, one of the major locations, is not part of the route in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. And so this is been one of the most common theories since Intermission came out. So this should be a surprise to nobody, and also a thing that you shouldn't say called it for, because it's like saying called it that Rebirth is going to come out. It's like it was like that overexposed. For example, Wutai, one of the major locations, is not part of the route Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and will not be visited in the next one. Although there are some changes in the order of locations depicted in this title extend up to the Forgotten Capital, where the greatest fate of Final Fantasy VII awaits you. What a way to say that. Let's see, what did Risotto Stone 1 say? Oh, there was a Discord link? Yeah, don't worry about that. Did we figure anything out, Juicy? No. Just the same shit. I'm going through all the stuff you went through. At this point, is there anything new, anything else that I missed, guys? Which location the trailer grabbed me from my attention the most? You know what? Weirdly, the kind of unrecognizably area that looks to be near the water that has the sunken boats. That grabbed me immediately for some reason. But like looking back now, the Gungaga ruins are my favorite aesthetically so far. Like I'm really happy that Cosmo Canyon looks as exactly like I want it to, and yeah. What's this? Bobby Corwin, will you have a video on where you explain why you changed direction? Well, it's just the first shot of the trailer. I mean, like, it's really clear that, you know, that Zach's in like a separated continuity somehow. And I think what's happening is that the worlds are merging throughout the game instead of it happening before or at the end of Rebirth. It's happening throughout. Like the worlds are zipping together, and I don't think that means there's copies of parties. I think that, you know, there will be Kyrie would have recognized Cloud otherwise, I guess. I don't think there was enough time for Kyrie to like have any reaction other than, yeah, I don't know. The dude timeline, not quite. So I don't think I do think that we're in between those two. You know, we're the two extremes. It ended up kind of finding a way to split the difference between the two major timeline theories, but I think it really did cut out the Zack is dead thing like so much. And so I think what we thought would be like, oh, he's basically Oron, was going to be the coping mechanism for Zack being alive, but ended up being more that they're just like, it's all a red herring. It's all Genova mind trickery or something. It can just not be the thing that it obviously is. That's the most common. Yeah. I have a thread showing that Zack entered the Midgar Cloud and Co. left in remake. I sure, but like, why is the sky like that? Zack is alive because he didn't die. Yeah, I agree there. Okay. I think it's actually strengthened my live stream memories theory. Huh. All right. Hold on to that thought. We'll talk in a week. Okay. Yeah, we'll talk in a week. But yeah. Anyways, the sky is like that post-Wister Harbinger. Maybe, yeah. Maybe. I think it's also possible too that just Terry, Zack, and Cloud walked into the Beagle timeline instead. Either way, it's functionally the same. You know. Yeah. I think one of the things that, like, my confidence is really high at this point, I can't wait to talk more about all of it, is that there's a lot less esoteric plot points. And all the mechanics are fairly hardcore. So, there you go. And then let's see. There's new First Soul or Ever Crisis content. Let's look at that real quick. And I'm not gonna like play or do a bunch of stuff. There's new co-op missions, but I do want to show off the they finally, and by finally I mean like 2 days later, released the Cloud outfit. So we can look at that. SEAL Team 7 in the near future. Yeah, I'm allowed to do those again. So, have you had any issues with LD player? No. But I'm like the only one, so. So let's see. There is a new outfit. For Cloud. And we've got the Aerith dress, and then so we got this beach time maritime outfit here, and I'll just go ahead and let's see how we're doing. By the way, let's reset. Okay. Come on, guys. You know I have it, right? Okay. So this is his maritime sailor outfit. And now that I can see it in this light, couple things to note. You know, I can't really zoom in. But there doesn't actually appear to be a ring on his finger, unfortunately, for the people that had created some kind of headcanon on the subject, myself included, because I didn't see it. Sephiroth only had glands on, you know, his gloves on, but also like, I'm trying to figure out if this is skin, but if it is, let's talk about this. These are like what are these shoes? They're like steel tipped sandal boots, right? I have never conceived of that. You know, only Nomura. We've got the soldier logo right here, which is a cool touch. Then let's see what else we got. It looked a lot more bouncery, like from the bouncer, But now it does. It's just like it's a sailor outfit, you know. He's a sailor on the beach sailing. So good stuff. Story-wise, there's nothing new. This is just every time you update it, the announcements are broken and stuff like that. There are new co-op missions that I haven't done yet, but I will do at some point in my life here. But we've got a motorball boss fight, Blue Dragon, and the Mad Anchor. And I was cool. The Mad Anchor is like a new Ever Crisis special from the first Soldier chapter, but it's green. They've reskinned it to green instead of red. And I like that they have these, you know, kind of homebrew sort of this is our life thing. But that's kind of that for now. Yeah, Sora outfit. I need a segue. Yeah, I want that outfit. I want the outfit from the Segway.
You know the truth. Trust in me.
Sephiroth!
Come on.
On me.
Man, this just it's peak. It's so good. Okay, well with that, I know the music's really good. I can't wait to hear some of the new tracks. With that, I'm going to go for a while, but I will be back. I'm probably we'll see when I'm back. I'll post a schedule, but there's going to be a lot coming up. And as new interviews or whatever drop, I will be live covering it. So also expect some stuff from my YouTube channel. Big stuff. So if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube, please check the YouTube. Please subscribe. I promise you. Guys, I promise you that you should subscribe. Super Sloth, subscribe to my YouTube. Okay? Am I going to post my reaction? Yeah, I will post it to YouTube. It's just, yeah, it's, or OnlyFans. We'll see. We'll see where I post it. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Twitch. Okay, let's see. Who do we got? Let's go see Unileska. Let's go see. Playing. Okay. Oh wait, hold on. Oh yeah. I did. Ours. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Let's not post like leaks here. And the leak was very not good, so don't even stress about it. Did I spell that right? Oh God. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Everybody follow Unileska, okay? Oh, I did the wrong thing. Ha! Ha! Okay. Now let's raid. So if you want to chat, follow, which you should. Follow her.